Paul Rasp with CPE Knives, and we're here today at RobCon Outdoors in north central Illinois to test our new bushcraft knife. It has a 4 1/4 inch blade, a 4 1/4 inch handle. It's a micarta with green liners. This blade is differentially heat treated, so I don't know if I can get you to zoom in on the knife there. You can see the hamon line in the knife. Right. And the two-tone of the liners. We're going to put this knife through its paces today. Bobby Consindine is going to help us see how it performs on some bushcraft tasks. We'll just talk about the sheath for a minute. It's made out of .090, a 90 thousandths Bolteron, which is a different trade name for Kydex. It's very stiff, very durable material. It's weather resistant. We use all metal rivets, and it is drilled for both a Spyderco G-clip and a tech lock. So you can see it looks like there's one hole out of place there. It's not. That's actually 1.5 inch pattern for a tech lock. The sheaths are all made with retention, so you can hear it snap in there. Comes out real easy. The other thing we do is the sheath is fit with a little bit of slop in it. And the reason is that Kydex is it's like a fiberglass. It's got glass in it, so what'll happen is it will scratch your blade. It'll make the blade look really nasty after a short period of time. So you can see that one's still shiny. We rely entirely upon this area here to retain the blade without any compression here.
Generally speaking, when we're testing a knife, we like to harvest some wood. That entails trimming some little branches so we can get to the piece of wood that we do want to harvest. So just basically, we just take off some of the branches, and you can see that the knife works pretty good just with some light batoning. There's two ways that we can harvest this branch, either by batoning it down, which works quite well even with a little bit larger branch. You can see how that just goes right through. Comes right down. Not a problem. Seems to be holding up good. There's no discoloration. The blade is not damaged one bit. The top is solid. The other way, other than batoning, we can clear our branches, and we can actually bend the branch with a little bit of tension and just start whittling, carving down. And that too will work our way all the way through the branch, and we can cut the bottom and get the piece that we want. You can cut that. Okay, as you just saw with a piece of maple, which is a medium to hardwood, a nice size diameter, we could either baton it to get a piece off, or we could actually bend it lightly and cut it with our hand. As with big wood, we also sometimes, for matting or our shelter, we need to harvest some grass. Rather than pulling the grass and wiggling it, you may want to try our knife to cut some so we don't injure our hands. You can see it's just a small little cut. Bring it to you. Never cut to you, always away. And we have enough grass to make our matting or for our shelter. Okay, again, if we have to make some basket material, we're going to use our knife again. Basically, we want to stay away from using our hands. So we're just going to cut up the branch. You can see how it easily slices through there for beautiful basket making material. And this is a willow tree, and we're just going to go along and trim some up. And if we want to have harvest a little bit bigger branch, again like we did with the maple tree, we're just going to sink our knife in a few times, crack, and cut it. There you have it. 3 easy cuts, and we have a nice piece of willow. Okay, generally in the outdoors, what we need to do is baton pieces of wood. This is a piece of wood that we're going to make into a basic tent stake or two. So we've cut it off, we've evened off the ends with our saw, and we're going to take our knife right now, get a good grip on it, and lay the knife pretty much in the middle of the wood. Now you can see the wood, it's not that big. It's maybe about 1.5 inches or so, and we want to baton that right down in the middle. The first strike will be right on the spine in the middle to get the first split going. As you can see, we've got a fine little split going down there, and another tip what you may want to think about is look at the grain inside the wood. Sometimes with the grain will help on your first strike. We're going to now, we have a good distance off the tip so we don't break it, which it shouldn't. It's a full spine, full tang, and we're just going to gently work that down all the way down. Okay? Two beautiful pieces. And by the way, this is maple. It's a medium hardwood, and this is slightly dried, a little moisture in it. We're going to take our knife, we're going to again place it in the middle, give it a tap. We've got distance on both sides. You never want to hit here because you may injure your hand, so we'll take it a couple hits just to get it started. See it split, and gently work it down. The nice part about it is the knife cut right through a little knot here in the wood, which is always an issue when we're splitting wood. Let's do that one more time. Again, in the middle, get it started. We've got plenty of space out here. And you can use any log for your baton, it doesn't matter, as long as it's pretty solid, nice piece. And again, this can also double as your throwing stick, although this is a little bit big and a little short, but that's okay. And gently baton it down. There you go. Okay, we're going to work with the knife right now, and let's say we want to make a tent stake out of this. So we pretty much batoned it, we've cut some branches with it. So let's see how it carves right now. We're going to need a point on this side to drive into the ground. We're going to need to round off the top so when we hit it, it doesn't splinter. And we're going to need a little catch in here to hold our line when it comes in. Okay? We're going to first start with just rounding off the top. And you can see the knife is still pretty darn sharp. And I'm just using a thumb method to round off the top. I'm going to take my knife, and again, I'm just going to take a small piece here, baton it down a little bit. And you don't want to go too far, just a little bit, enough to catch your paracord or line, whatever you're using for your tent. You see it's just in a little bit. Then again, we want to use our thumb method and just take some of that wood away. Put a little notch in there. Cuts really good. Didn't even begin to dull yet. So, if you can see, we have our little notch in there with our line that will come across. Next, what we need to do is turn around. Now, we can either use a long stroke to clean it, or we can just chop a little bit. Use it as a little chopper, that's fine too, just to kind of get it started. And again, just the top section of your knife, just to work it on there a little bit. Work it around the top. When you're finished with that, finish off the point. And again, the knife hasn't even dulled. Still pretty sharp. Just work it around. And again, knife safety is so important. We don't want to be cutting on our leg. We want to have a nice working surface. And work on it like that. Bring it down to, it doesn't have to be a perfect point, but it can be good enough just to get it into the ground depending on where it is. Okay, there you have it. we just took a piece of maple, we split it into 4 sections. We cut the top, just so when we pound it won't splinter. We have a top notch section and we have a little point. So if we want to put that in the ground, there you have it. Okay, let's take a piece of oak. This is pretty tough wood. Again, on your first cut, kind of look at the grain inside there. And this is really a nice test. We're just going to split this down in a couple sections and see how it works. Again, the wood isn't too wide, so we take our first couple hits right on the top in the middle. Run it to the end. You can see how the split has started. And we're going to gently work it down the sides. And that's your piece of oak. Let's do it one more time on the side, in the middle, there's your piece of oak split into sections.
Alright guys, I just wanted to give you a close-up look at this blade after all the batoning and stuff, so you can see there, there's no chips, there's no rolls, there's nothing on the edge. The sides of it are perfect. The little scratches, I don't know if you're going to be able to see the little scratches in the video, but those are from the Kydex sheath, because you can see that they're all long ways. So those are all from the Kydex sheath going in and out. And there's the spine. There is nothing wrong with the spine. That's just a piece of tree that's stuck in there. So just to give you an idea, tip, check out the tip. Even after the blows, there's no damage at all to the tip. Okay?